I'm gonna take y'all around the sawmill, give you a little quick tour on the sawmill. I've only run a few logs through it, as you can see over there, but basically what it is, you roll your log up on here on your sawmill, and you got these little things right here. You flip those up and put them against the log like right there, and that's really all you've got to hold, and you've got to be careful with that. That's one of the things of these sawmills is trying to hold the wood steady. You got to be careful with that, because if you leave it up there and as you're lowering your blade down, your blade will get into it. You've got that little guard over there. It's out of focus. That little guard over there is really all you've got to stop from hitting something with your blade, and it's over there on that side, and these guards are over here. But basically, you roll your log up here, and you crank your mill up, and you just push it through it. Push it through it like that. But these mills are super cool. This crank lowers and raises the blade and the band. It basically sits on these 4 pillars. It's got rollers down through there. It rolls along this track out through there. Now right here you've got a you can't see the numbers on it too good on the camera. You can see them, but if you want to do 1-inch boards, you just set you move this up and down so you get your line calibrated, and you set it on the 1, you cut 1, and you crank it down with this crank back here to the next one, boom, that's automatically an inch. If you want to do 2-inch boards, you've got 2 right there. If you want to do 3, you've got 3s right there and 4s right there. I mean, these are really cool little deals. I recommend anybody with a homestead, anything like that, off-grid property, if you've got a lot of timber and you're going to be doing a lot of building, you need one of these sawmills. Look at all these free 2x4s I got. 2x12s over there. I'm going to put some 2x6s right here. And I've also learned a lot about, how you rip these things. See, what I was doing is and a lot of people say to do this, make 1 cut, flip it over, make 1 cut, flip it over, and you get your log square. But you get a lot of waste doing that. So what I've started doing is I just rip them way down into it, take my 2-inch board, and that's what I've got a variety of them. Some of them are 10-inch, some of them are 12-inch, some of them 8-inch, 6-inch. But I'll get it so low, like, a little bit lower than this right here, down here toward the wide part. What I'm looking for is that 4-inch strip right there, and just hang with me and I'm explaining to you why. I'll rip down so far, flip it over, do the same thing on the other side. Now what that gives me is a bunch of random 2-bys over there. Some of them's 10, some of them's 12, some of them's whatever. And you can take those to a table saw and make them whatever you need them to be, 2x8s, 2x10s, whatever, 2x6s. And like if you got a 10-inch board, make it 2x6, you got a 2x4, you made 2 boards. Well, I'll flip it over and do the same thing. Then when I get down to where my log's 4 inches thick, imagine how wide that is, and then I flip it up, and that's all my 2x4s, boom, 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 boom. That way there's so much less waste like that. Because basically all you're wasting, all you're losing, go over here to these boards right here. All you're losing is just where your bark's at, like on this board right here. Otherwise, if you cut it like other people do, you see that big board right there, that's what that is. And all these over here, look at all the wood wasted right there. That's a 2-by right there, or 1-by. And like I said, you don't have to cut 2-bys, you can cut 1-bys. Like when I do board and batten, I'll cut 1-bys off of it. But that way in every board, and that way every log, what you're doing. Now, if you just need 2x4s, whatever, cut 2x4s. But if, like me, I'm wanting to get a pile of wood. So what I'm going to have is with every board, I'll have a variety. I'll have a couple 2x10s, a couple 2x12s, a couple 2x6s, and then I'll have me about 10 2x4s out of every single log. That's a good way to do it right there.